So I wanted to talk about a little video I had tonight and talk about what I'd found. I've done a few knife videos lately, and I've really enjoyed getting to learn about knives a little bit, watching some other people do videos about knives, and kind of getting just really starting to enjoy it. And I've bought a few, and I've done a couple of videos, a couple of reviews of some of the knives that I've bought, and and every one of them, when I opened the knife, man, the knife was exactly what I wanted it to be, and I was really impressed with it. But the last video I did, I opened the knife up, and when I opened the knife, I had an issue with it, and it's the first time that's happened to me. And I really thought, do I want to put a video out where it's not really what it's not 100% that I liked it. I had an issue. And this knife company that I bought this from, it was a Bear & Son knife, and I've got a few Bear & Son knives, and man, they're great. I really like them. And I thought, do I want to put out that I had an issue with this knife? But I thought, well, it's true. It's what happened. Other people might see it and be interested in that. I bought the knife from Smoky Mountain Knife Works, and when I read reviews on this knife, there was a review on the website exactly the problem I had with it. So I know I'm not the only one that got one like this. So I thought, well, it's good for information. I can tell the story about what happened and how I resolved it. Maybe it'll help somebody else. And I did resolve it. And Smoky Mountain Knife Works was great to work with about it. But I'm gonna go ahead and show this video. This is me opening the knife that I got from Smoky Mountain. They actually sent it to me at home, and I was traveling that week, and I didn't really have time to fool with it. I wanted to make a video opening it, so I didn't really have time to fool with it. So I threw it in my suitcase, and I thought, well, I'll make a video in the hotel room. I do that sometimes. It gives me something to do in the evenings a lot of times, just make a little video. And I just happened to be traveling in East Tennessee when I made the video. So I wasn't far from Smoky Mountain Knife Works when I actually opened the knife up. I live about 200 miles from there. I just happened to be there. So it worked out. And so I'm gonna go ahead and show this video where I open the knife, and you can kind of see what happens. So here's the video. Hello, I have another video to show you guys. The last video we talked about this Maker knife that I actually bought from the Knife Doctor off of his Whatnot show a few weeks ago. I've been carrying this with me. I really like this knife. We kind of talked about this Bear & Son made this knife for Maker, and we kind of talked about the size of it. How I really like carrying about this size knife. I carry this one a lot too. This is another Bear & Son. I actually bought this knife off of Amazon. That's one of my favorite knives to carry. And then this is a Bear & Son that I bought at Bucky's, trapper size, which is a little big for me to carry when I'm working. I really don't carry that one much. But I have a new one, and I ordered this from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. This is an exclusive that they were offering. And we'll take a look at that. Put that there for a second. Let's open this and see what this looks like. I always like the way that the Bear & Son knives are packaged. Every one of them I've ever gotten comes in this little pouch here. This one didn't. This Maker didn't, but it was bought at the factory overrun. But this is the one. This is what I got from Smoky Mountain. So this is Bear & Son's version of the peanut butter and jelly. And that looks really good. I'm telling you, it may not show up on the camera as well as it does in person. But man, that is gorgeous. Wow, I really like that. And here's the back side. Wow, under this light, this really looks good. You can see the bolster. Hopefully you can see. The bolster has the embossing of the little peanut butter and jelly character. And then in the package, they also included a little magnet. And I think that glows in the dark, maybe. Patch. It says peanut butter and jelly patch. Smoky Mountain Knife Works, peanut butter and jelly patch. And I have a couple of the case peanut butter and jelly knives at home. So that'll go good in that display. I'll be able to put that with the display. But this really, okay. That's really nice. Like most of the knives that I've gotten from Bear & Son and Smoky Mountain, this needs a little oil. That lock's a little tough. Off camera, I'll have to fool with that. I don't want to cut myself. But the lock is a little tough. I will say. We'll have to check that out. Put a little oil on there, it'll probably fix it right up. But that is a pretty knife. It's beautiful. I hope I can get that lock to work. I'm sure I will. It's just a little tough doing it where I can't really see and I don't want to cut myself. We'll fool with that a little bit. I'll put a little oil on that and see if we can't get that going. If not, I'll be making a trip to Smoky Mountain tomorrow. I'm actually I'm in Sevierville tonight, so if I need to, I'll run back over there and let them look at it. But I think it probably just needs a little oil. This lockback knife, which is basically the same design, boy, it just works as smooth as it can. Nothing wrong with it. But that one is a little tough. We'll work on it. Maybe we can get that going. If not, we'll make a trip over there tomorrow. I'd like to go back over there tomorrow anyway. So if I have to do that, no big deal. But anyway, this is the Bear & Son peanut butter and jelly. Man, it's a really pretty knife. I will let you know how it turns out. All right, so now you've seen that I had the knife, I opened it up. I love the color of that knife. That knife was so beautiful. But I have to pay off what happened now, right? So the next day, I had an appointment kind of early. Smoky Mountain Knife Works doesn't open until 10 o'clock in the morning. So their hours during the week are, at least this time of year in December, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So I had an appointment that I had to be in Knoxville, about, 40 miles away. I had to be there at 9:30, so I couldn't be there in the morning. I had to go back over there in the afternoon after I got done with work, and went in, and they couldn't have been any nicer to me than what they were. I showed them the problem, and they said, yeah, there's an issue there. Yeah, you know that knife shouldn't do that. I think we all knew that, right? And they actually went and got a couple of more of the lockback knives, and I think they brought 3 over, and we tried all 3, and 2 of them were just as bad as the one that I had. One of them wasn't quite as bad, but it was still not good. It didn't work good. It worked better, but the guy that was working there, he said, hey, maybe we got a bad batch of them or something. He said, I don't know. So what he offered to do, he said, we got some other, besides the lockback, they had a trapper and a Barlow, and they were all the same price. And he said, do you want to try one of those? And I said, yeah, just let's get a couple of trappers. Let's do a trapper. So he went back and he grabbed like 3 trappers, because all of these come out with different colors. No, they're custom. So the colors, and I told him, I said, man, I love the color of this one. And he brought over like 3 trappers, and we opened all 3, and he let me pick. He's like, just pick whichever one you want. And that's what we did. And I'll turn the camera around now, and we'll kind of look at the one that I wound up with. So this is a trapper that I wound up with. And again, those colors are really pretty. I don't know if they pop quite as good as that lockback did, but the colors are really nice. Now that's smooth, so it's a little different than the case peanut butter and jelly. But man, look at those colors. It is a beautiful, beautiful knife, and I'm just telling you, man, I'm very happy with it. The trapper is probably a little larger than what I typically carry, especially when I'm working. But this is a really, really pretty knife. I was impressed with how Smoky Mountain Knife Works worked with me. Really, they tried to find a lockback that operated, to my satisfaction. And one of them that they brought out probably would have been okay, but it wasn't exactly, didn't work exactly like I wanted it to. And they were just like, hey, that's fine. Let's make sure you're satisfied, and work to do that. Now, I was lucky that I was in town, that I was there, or else I would have had to ship it back. And I mentioned that somebody had put on a review that they had gotten a lockback, and it's on the Smoky Mountain website. It's on their website. If you look under the reviews for these knives, somebody put on there that they had this issue, and I think they called. I think they said they called, and Smoky Mountain Knife Works said, "Hey, send it back to us." And they were like, I think their reply was, I'll just put it in the drawer. I'm not going to fool with that. It's not a terribly expensive knife. It's $59 before tax. So, and all the styles are $59. So the lockback was $59. This one was $59. The Barlow was $59, and now they have the mini trapper. And I love this color. I really do think it's a great color. I think Smoky Mountain Knife Works couldn't have been any better than what they were, the way they handled an issue. And really and truly, isn't that what's important? Anytime you buy something from a company or do business with somebody, there's going to come times when you have an issue. But how the company handles the issue is really what matters. They could have told me to pound sand. Hey, you got what you paid for. You bought it, it's yours. But they weren't like that at all. They really bent over backwards. I was very impressed with how they treated me when I came in there with an issue. Didn't question, hey, why are you here when we sent it to Georgia, and what are you doing coming to Tennessee? That might have been my first question if somebody did that to me. But I just told them, hey, I happen to be up here, and I just thought I'd bring it back. And I actually have a video where I'm opening it up if you want to see it. And they're like, no, it's fine, no problem. And then brought, as many as, I guess, 6 different knives over to see which one I liked. So this is the one I'm wound up with. I think I did good. I think it's beautiful. It's really a pretty knife. I've got a display with a few of the Sea Dragon, the Case Sea Dragons, and the Case Peanut Butter and Jelly. I don't know if I'll put it in the display with those Case knives. I don't know. Maybe I'll carry it a little bit and just see. Like I said, it's not usually what I carry. I usually carry a little bit smaller knife, but maybe I'll give it a try. This is the one I've been carrying lately. I think I showed this in the other video. I love this knife. I love the size of this knife. And you can see it's just a little, it's not that much bigger, right? It's a little bigger. It's not that much bigger. I may give it a try. You know, I got into these because my grandson wants peanut butter and jelly sandwich every day after school. He makes my wife fix him a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So I got those thinking one day that the peanut butter and jelly knives would be his. I think it's really pretty though. Yeah, I think Bear & Sons knocked this out of the park with this color. So, and I recommend them. Hey, they're on the Smoky Mountain Knife Works website. They're limited. This says 1 in 500. And you know, if you're into this kind of thing, you know, I recommend them. And really, I recommend Smoky Mountain. The Bear & Son knives have been great. Smoky Mountain just treated me just very good when I had a problem. What more can you ask for? All right. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you taking a few minutes and watching this. Hope you enjoyed it.